Hey guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology, and I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothian. I'm going to talk to you about Venus, and she is in her sign of exaltation in the sky. She got there today, February 25th, the day I'm recording this little note for you guys. And I'm so excited by this particular iteration of her movement into the sign of exaltation, where she brings sort of a combination of magic and mystery and exalted or higher than values of Venus. And also she's a little bit like the saint, or she's a little bit like the Virgin Mary or the nun here as well. But in our own lives, in one of the 12 houses that she falls into, she will bless you with a particular kind of exalted energy. So stay tuned for the all signs portion of the reading. Before we get to the all signs, I'm going to talk a little bit about Venus, and I want you to really tune into this. Now, you can skip this if you don't want to know a little bit about Venus and this condition called exaltation, but I suggest you listen. Why? You might learn something about her. And I'm trying to be very Venusian. Yes, I already have purple hair, but I'm trying to match my funky earring to my funky necklace and trying to get a little Venus energy going, my purple bracelet with my, just trying to find my Venus vibe here for you guys. And I couldn't find a super hot pink lipstick, which I'm going to buy next time because that's more exalted Venus than just plain old dull rose red. So first of all, Venus is goddess of love, art, and beauty, and all of that shtick, relationship, romance, money, etc. Now, what is Venus? She's a planet in the sky. She always travels close to the earth, to the sun, right? She doesn't get very far away from it. I think her maximum elongation is 47 degrees, meaning that people who are born with the signs of Taurus and Aries and Taurus and Pisces and Aquarius and Capricorn are all people who could be born with Venus in exaltation in Pisces. Okay, so that's some kind of moniker for the birth chart cadre, but this is a transiting Venus. We want to think about this as we all get a little juice of that exalted Venus in some place in our chart. Now, exalted Venus is an interesting character. She's just wanting to be intoxicated with the divine. She is in love with God. God is, it's like, she's like, ultimately, she's that energetic, transcendent values for love and transcendent values for beauty. And she really is in Pisces, not really interested in sex, honestly. And she's actually got a higher value. Bring me a higher love, that she's reaching for. Or another Venus and exalted Pisces would be, I want to know what love is. Da, 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 deep, deep yearning for some kind of understanding of love. And yet at the same time, she can operate on the other side of divine intoxication. A lot of Venus and Pisces end up with people with that, born with that, will end up with addictions, substance abuse, a striving and craving for that side of it. So an exalted Venus in its looking like that loss of self to escapist drug use, or drug use looking for the intoxication that goes south, would be Kurt Cobain. He is born, the artist, the musician, Kurt Cobain, who was born with Venus in the sign of exaltation in Pisces. Or Heath Ledger, who played the Joker in Batman. Now, I can't remember, but I think he overdosed and I think he's already passed away. But Heath Ledger or succumbed to mental illness. You could also say divine madness, divine intoxication, divine ecstasy, divine madness are some of what happens with that Venus in Pisces. She's also refined, and she's got sort of an allure to her there, some kind of sense of almost like a queenly, saint-like Venus energy. So not that Michelle Obama is a saint, but she is born with Venus in Pisces. So I'm trying to give you another flavor for that. So is Kourtney Kardashian, keeping up with the Kardashians. So is George Harrison, the more mystical of all the Beatles. I think it's his song that's Imagine, na 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 na, do do do. It's like a world, where everything's wonderful and glorious. Van Gogh. So Vincent van Gogh had Venus in Pisces, and people think of him as this great painter, and Starry Night is one of my favorites, and they're all very mystical paintings. But he also was, what people don't know, he was a missionary in the end of his life. He worked as a missionary in a poor mining community somewhere. And so the idea is that he's moved into his service to the divine. Ed Sheeran, the famous ballad singer of our era, love ballads, right? Venus exalted in Pisces. Who else? Martin Luther King. I have a dream. You know, the modern Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces, right? And Neptune rules the word dreams and imagination, like both George Harrison's song and the Martin Luther King I have a dream speech come to mind. Last but not least, in the sort of flavor of an exalted Venus in Pisces, is that it's a flavor of the Twilight series. So the actress Kristen Stewart was well known for her role in the Twilight series based on the book about the vampire story. So it's about a young woman who falls in love with an immortal being, and she has to sacrifice her mortality in the end, or that's a choice she's faced with, in order to become a vampire so they can love forever. Eternal love that requires sacrifice. So martyr, sacrifice, sacrificing for a deeper, higher love are all exalted Venus themes. So let's talk about this particular Venus, okay? She is doing her exaltation as she steps into Pisces, okay, at the very same time that Neptune is co-present in the sky, in the sign of Pisces, the higher love God himself, at the very same time that the sun is so close to her, she's invisible. Now she's in her chariot, meaning that she's in her safety sign of her exaltation. So she's not really harmed by the beams of the sun, which traditionally can be harmful to a planet, but she is nonetheless invisible. And then in Babylonian tradition, an invisible planet isn't showing its full cards, right? It's not like showing you their hand until they become visible. She will become visible in the sky after she burrows as the morning star, from the morning star that she is now to the evening star she will become. That birth transition, Cazimi in the heart of the sun, is March 25th at 5 degrees of Aries. And then at the end of April, by then she'll become visible again in the sky. Now I want to say something. A lot of the juice percolating right now as Venus transits some part of your chart. You might not see all of the visible, beautiful outcome of that until after she becomes visible near the end of April, meaning it's sort of like she's planting seeds for something amazing in your life right now. It's super sweet that Neptune is there. It's super sweet that she's invisible, because invisible Venus, Ishara is the version the Babylonians would call her instead of the two Ishtars. She's very mysterious and magical. She's like the witch, the sorceress. She's the magical Venus. So any of you people who are into magic and doing magic, whether it's astrological, pagan, or ritual, whether it's just manifestation of your dreams, vision boards, this is a very magical Venus. And because she's invisible right now, because she's in the heart of the sun, I did a little notes of when the last time she was invisible as she transited. When was that? Oh my gosh, did I keep it? I don't know if I did. Darn it. Sorry, guys. I was going to tell you the last time she was like invisible in the sky as she was in her exaltation in Pisces. But maybe is this my notes? Give me a sec. I think I found it. Aha, 2018. Yeah. So I think I got that. February 11th and March 7th, 2018. I think she was also invisible in the sky as she was going through Pisces. All right, so let's get with this story. So she's not always invisible when she's in Pisces, okay? The sun's not always right on her tail, or they're not always that close beside each other. I mean, she can be invisible in all kinds of times and places, but this is one of them. I mean, yeah, we're really lucky. So I think we're lucky because I think it brings magic to the story. So what else can I tell you about Venus before we check out the all signs part of the story? In the tarot, she's the Empress card, and I have an Empress card. Maybe I'll show it to you guys. No, I think, will I get up and show it to you? Yeah, what the heck? Stay tuned. Whoa, Empress. So here she comes. The Empress. Now I have an Empress card, because it's a long story, but I have it on my mantle. So this Empress card represents Venus in the tarot, right? And interestingly enough, she is the creative intelligence, and she's Bina in the tree of life. And it's all about the heart's desire. And it's also about this divine mother, and the divine mother that is the mother of the world, not just your own mama. So divine mother is also archetypally connected to other kinds of mothers, like the Virgin Mary. And there you get that saint quality of, how Venus and Pisces can operate. And before that, she was Isis, and she is the tarot card Empress. So think of this as a creative intelligence that has some sort of, in the tarot, she's known as the luminous intelligence and the creative imagination. So I'm going to say, make this transit somehow also active for yourself. Instead of being passive, I'm going to do some magic where she's transiting. Well, the Empress / Venus is transiting. What do I want to give birth to? What do you want to give birth to in your life? And don't think inside the box, think outside the box. Let the magic part of her speak to you. Give birth to a new dream, a new goal, a new project, a new book, a new hope, a new wish. That's my prescription. I'm cheerful about it. Watch out for substance abuse. Neptune's there too. Do not sink yourself into alcohol, drugs, or anything else right now. It probably won't go as well as you'd like. I'm on a cleanse right now, as I normally am, but I'm on another version of one just as she steps into Pisces. Okay, so yeah, because you guys know that I've been cleansing off of wine for a year, right? So every now and then I sink back into like, I think I'll have some wine, and I'm like, I don't think I should have wine. It's a never-ending wine story. All right, so I'm going to share a couple of charts with you, and then we're going to do the all signs. Give me a minute, share a screen. And guys, can you like, subscribe, comment, share the videos if you like them? Thank you. Why? Because it helps grow my channel, my little channel. And check my description box below for all kinds of things that I have going on. You know, you can still get that year ahead bundle for only $39, which is a super deal. I have a feeling this didn't share this time. I don't see my green box around this. I think you're looking at my whole screen for some reason. Sorry about that. Let's try again. I'm having tech issues lately. I don't care if Mercury's supposedly doing fine in the sky. He and I are not getting along. All right, I believe I am now sharing this birth of Venus and Pisces chart. Now, it's actually, I don't have it at the 0 degree. That just had to be, yeah, latitude, longitude issues, but just don't worry about it. The gist is I want to share something with you. It's kind of fun to take the birth of a planet in a sign and then to transpose it like the rising sign is the birth sign, right? So she's birthing in Pisces as the first house identity. And you can say a lot about Venus in terms of her temperament over the next 3 weeks. She's got a Neptunian temperament, high mysticism, high imagination, high spiritual values, high penchant for escapism and addiction, you know, divine intoxication and madness. And she's connected as well with that sun. She's close to the sun. She's cleaving to the sun, right? And you won't see her again until the end of April. Now, this is to me a very sweet and magical temperament that she has in the house of her identity. She is that first house. That is who she is. That is her identity of this chart. This is how she is as she's being born in Pisces. But she doesn't give a flying doodle about anybody over here. They're in aversion. She can't see Saturn and Aquarius and Jupiter and goddess Athena, knowledge and wisdom. They're invisible to her. She's like, I don't care what you guys are doing over there. I can't see you and I don't care. I find that fascinating. I think that's almost interesting that she's got even the Lord of the mansion, right? Jupiter can't see her. She's got free reign in Jupiter's mansion. It's like she got a free ticket, a free pass to Jupiter's mansion, and he's not home and can't see her and she can't see him. What is she going to do without Jupiter? Jupiter's bound to Saturn right now. Yeah, he's in Saturn's house. And so he's taking instruction from Saturn. And so if he was the boss of her, he'd be telling her very functional, realistic, and practical things. And he'd be telling her Saturnian things, space and time are real, and you can't break the laws of the matrix. But then she's free. She's free of that whole influence over here. And she's like, I'm going to do some high magic over here. Just watch me go. Just watch me go. So that's what it looks like to me, honestly. Now, yeah, of course, with Neptune there, you could fall for somebody that and be deluded. You know, I mean, you know, this could also be a romantic love story, especially some of you who have fifth house. This is your fifth house. We'll get to that. So, but for the most part, I feel this is a higher love, a higher order. I feel this is a blessing for the world. I really do. She is the queen of the world. And I think this is a blessing for the world. I also say that look at her temperament regarding other things going on in the chart. She is having a oppositional conversation with a sacred vestal flame that it can represent celibacy, a devotional flame, something you wish to devote yourselves to two that requires a sacrifice. Like the best virgins didn't have children or get married; they just tended a sacred flame in Rome. She's opposite that. I mean, not directly, but by sign. So maybe she's saying, well, enough of the celibacy, the sacred, rituals of martyrdom. Let's have more pleasure and joy, but at a spiritual depth. Again, this Venus in Pisces doesn't want sex. She wants soul communion. She wants merger with the other, whether it's God or her partner. And she's also having a conversation with Juno, the traditional goddess of marriage, and twosomes and contracts, the wife of Zeus. And she's squaring that too. So she's kind of like down on marriage, and she's down on celibacy and singledom and Vestal flame stuff. What is she for? Where is she going with this story? What does she care about? Well, she seems to be quite interested in, or possibly corresponding with Mars, the lover, and her lover in Greek mythology. She was married to Vulcanus, or Hephaestus. Let's put him in there. I'm going to add him. Hephaestus, and this is her lover. Now she can see her lover, okay, not especially, but during her transit, she will get to a point of connecting with him in a sextile. So this could be the seedlings of a very beautiful love story that she's trying to get going as she gets closer and closer to Mars. Now, Mars is going to move signs as well, so that's a bit of a complication. But the idea is that during this first part of the month, she is able to witness her lover. Let's put in, so I think she's going to try to create love stories, but it doesn't have to be real love. I mean, to a partner, it could be, what do you love? Because Venus asks the question, what do you love? Or what do you truly desire? Or what is your heart's desire? And I'm trying to add an asteroid, and this software is like really screwing with me. So give me a minute. It's not an asteroid, I'm doing a trans-Neptunian actually. Vulcanus, but he's like Hephaestus. Come on, Vulcanus, husband of Venus, in you go. He's in, okay. Okay. You guys can see something that I can't see, I bet, because I can't see anything. Oh, that was painful. Am I sharing? Don't even ask why I have such tech issues right now. Yes, I am sharing. All right. Whoa, all righty. So Vulcanus, her husband, is in the 6th house, connected to Hygeia, the goddess of health and wellness and healing and hygiene. Well, given there's a pandemic in the land, that's not a bad thing. But she can't really see him either. So if her hubby is working with pandemics, she's not so interested. She's more interested in this, whatever this do what you love, be what you love, find what you love, who do you love, heart story that you love. That's her lover. That's her passionate lover. Find that passionate core inside of you. Let's go to all signs, and let me check my time. I'm doing okay. Is there anything else I want to say about Venus as a general theme? My Venus cheat sheet notes that I was drawing up thinking about her. I would say one more thing. In the Thema Mundi, the birth of the world chart, which is a Cancer rising, that makes the 9th house the natural house of Pisces, whereas in the Aries zodiac, it's the 12th house, which makes sense for addictions and ashrams and sanctuaries and mysticism. But Pisces is the 9th house. It's the house of God, right? And it's the house of the direct contact with the divine, because one of the things about it becomes religion, the 9th house, and it's dumbed down form, but the 9th house is like the actual encounter of God. And it's a place of Dharma as well. So our true purpose, our true calling. So I just want to reflect that she does have that sort of quality of her, when she's in Libra, she's like in her head office. And when she's in Taurus, she's like in her getaway cottage. And when she's in Pisces, she's like in her ashram. And I think that ties in with the Thema Mundi 9th house. This is definitely a priestess, spiritual, a God-fearing zone of the chart. Okay, let's do all signs. And I'm going to start clicking my thingy forward or whatever. It's not moving. Sorry, did I move forward by a month by mistake? No, it's not what I want to do. You'll have to bear with me because, as usual, I'm having tech issues. I'm still there. I don't know what it is with me sometimes in this software, but sometimes it does beguile me. I am beguiled. Okay, there we go. Aries, sun, moon, and ascendant. Let's talk about this. Where is this magical, manifesting, juicy Venus sitting with her higher love vibe? She's sitting in your 12th house. 12th house of dreams at night, inner meditations and reverie, your inner life, the Akashic records, past lives, sometimes foreign lands. I think that you could really find this is about your night dreams and really tuning in your meditations and using the power of your inner vision to access the magic of this Venus. Now, could be that if you've had difficulties like friends in hospitals, that all recovers miraculously. A female friend leaves the hospital, like rises from the dead or something, because it is a house of hospitals and insane asylums and all that difficult stuff. So in some way, maybe female energy there, some woman, female, recovers, gets out of rehab, Neptune there, in your 3 weeks ahead. But for the most part, for you, look at this as an opportunity to engage in magic from a deep, deep, deep mystical place within yourself. I'm an Aries sun and moon. I'm doing a 3-week experiment in magic making with a friend of mine with lab notes and everything. So I'm taking that to heart. I'm really going to try to magically go with the Venus in her magic zone. Taurus, sun, moon, and ascendant. And I will be doing a webinar teaching on using some of the magic of this time with Venus, especially because she's coming into contact with the star Fomalhaut in the heavens, which is a beautiful star at around 4 degrees of Pisces. So a magical occult wisdom star at that. So stay tuned for more about that. I haven't set the date up yet, but I will add it to the description box even after I've posted this, and I will send it to you. If you're on my mailing list, get on my mailing list. You get to know about all these like pop-up classes that I love to teach. And this will be harnessing the magic of Venus. Okay, in this condition she's in. So Taurus, sun, moon, and ascendant, you can see that Venus is operating in your 11th house of good friends, good spirit. This could be your large social circles, your online social circles, the tribes and groups you belong to. Great financial gain from your career, windfalls, pennies from heaven. Yay! Taurus, take a money risk that's fun, but don't bet the bank, don't bet the house on it, but buy a lottery ticket. Go to a bingo hall, go to the casino. We're for fun. But on the other hand, it's also, hey, this is benefiting greatly by your alliances, allegiances, and your belonging, and friends and allies as benefactors. So possibly out of the blue, a friend will offer to help you with something or give you a leg up in something. And also for your own proactive magic as a way of accessing this karmic rewards house is to look at what are your true hopes, dreams, and wishes, because this is the yearning for the true reward of our life, our true heart's desire, hopes, dreams, and wishes. So maybe you can get more in touch with that true hopes, dreams, and wishes for your life during this 3 weeks that Venus is transiting. Finally, a female friend could be very helpful towards you, Venus in the house of friends, and bring you great blessings in 2021's transit of Pisces for the next 3 weeks, February 26, add 3 weeks. Gemini, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is happening in your natal first house of yourself. Oh, sorry. No, it's not. It's happening. That's where you are. Venus is happening in your natal 10th house of career, of reputation, of status, and your outward actions in the world, that people to see you as like the thing you're doing, what you want everyone to see you doing. So if you're an artist or creative, a musician, you work with women, fashion, beauty, any of those Venusian, you're a celebrity or you want to be one, diva. This is Venus, but she's very spiritual up here in invoking the possibility of some attainment of reputation at a new level. So pop in your celebrity or your high profile nature all of a sudden, but your career as well. And Venusian blessings in the career house. Well, hey, maybe some woman, Venus, female, blesses you with an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm hearing the Eminem song, once in a lifetime, no. that you're going to seize. Now, proactively focus on your career with her. If you have career ambitions that you wish to get rolling and off the ground, petition this as a magical energy that she can bring with you to you. Now, yeah, maybe not till April you see the full fruition of it, because she's still invisible until then, but get those seeds planted now. Let me go back. Father, some of you Geminis may have to deal with father, 10th house, sun is up there too, but good breakthroughs with a father or father figure or authority figure as well. Cancer, sun, moon, and ascendant, you're experiencing the Venus blessings and the magic in your 9th house of foreign lands and travel, higher education, books, book publishing, dharma, spiritual traditions, all that stuff. Higher education. Some of you may want to learn something and take a course of study or get an idea, but you won't necessarily do it maybe until after April, but you might get on board for what that could be. Women as spiritual teachers and guides, finding a spiritual teacher or female, that's the saint-like version of Venus up there in your house of guides and mentors and spiritual teachers and gurus. Why not? Take a course, find a guru, a spiritual teacher could show up for you. Some of you Cancer, sun, moon, and ascendants, or just an exalted teacher, like, because you're going to take a course in something and this teacher is amazing and it really works for you. I doubt a lot of us are traveling to foreign lands, but if you have the opportunity to travel to a foreign land, you might seed it now, but it will become fruition in, let's say, May and June, when she's in the sky and we can all see her again. Leo, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is going to be blessings of a magical Venus and a mysterious Venus in the house of magic. The deeper mysteries, the occult wisdom. And, she's coming into contact with Fomalhaut soon, right? He sits around 4 degrees and she's at 1 on the day of this recording. That's exciting. So some of you, Leo, sun, moon, and ascendants, might just pick up a pack of tarot cards and learn how to read them. You might take an interest in an occult tradition. Astrology can be also considered 8th house as well. So maybe some of you will start digging down the woo corridor, WOO, to find more of your magic and mystery. You also could be looking at some really good money developments, because this is the wealth house. It has to do with banks and loans and grants and inheritances, your partner's money. Some of you, Leo, your partner will do really well, fantastically. Exalted Venus, money goddess in the money house. As well, you could too, if you invest in something or you have an investment that's taken off and maybe you want to liquidate it. Is it time to sell your Bitcoin? So some of you Leos are looking at that. Also, selling real estate and ka-ching, in comes the money. Some of you Leos could also do that or invest in real estate at the same time. Virgo, sun, moon, and ascendant. You're experiencing this glorious magical Venus in the marriage house, or the business partners, and sometimes your clients and audience. So if you're a Virgo with clients, a female client could really benefit you in some way with this extra magic and some exaltation there in the house of clients. You could find a new client in the next 3 weeks that just has a huge impact in operating in a new way in your life, bringing you greater inspiration and a sense of destiny and magical powers to what you're doing for that client. You could also find, if you're a male, particularly, well, I should say it's the goddess of love in the house of commitment. A relationship goes to a deeper level of commitment. A dating scene becomes more deeply connected. A long-term alliance or romantic alliance becomes something more like, let's move in together, let's get married, let's get engaged, but again, coming from a deeper spiritual impulse. A lot of you Virgo risings are looking for, sun and moon too, a higher love anyway. You really want that transcendent higher love. Of course, the fish are swimming in 2 directions in Pisces, so sometimes you have 2 minds about it, but ultimately you've been, what do you call it? A lot of times that Pisces rulership of the 7th leads to a lot of rose-colored glasses, and then delusion and illusion and heartbreak, and feeling like you never get what you signed up for is not what you got, especially with that transit of Neptune since 2011. But this can exalt your current relationship to a new level of commitment or a new depth to spiritual connection. Libra, sun, moon, and especially ascendant, you can see that this is happening. Venus is happening for you in the house of your work. This is your livelihood, your work routines, and your health protocols. First of all, certainly bodes well for getting healthy. But if you get healthy, probably because you found a new spiritual tradition, like a meditation practice or qigong or something that's a little bit deeper than just, Zumba workouts. You're also going to see this Venus moving into this part of the chart, bringing female allies or colleagues or workers or co-workers to your benefit and helping you achieve something. And anything that goes on with females in the work story really outpicture in April. That's when you're really going to see it. Okay. And April's where it really takes off. Also, you're going to find that you have this possibility with Neptune co-present to really dream the true work that you want to do. What is the dream and the vision, your highest imagination of the work you want? If you're not sure what it is, I'd say the next 3 weeks, really dive into that. And if you do know what it is, then it's time to do that vision board. It's really time to look at the vision board for what true joyful work looks like for you, what satisfying, spiritually satisfying work looks for you. A lot of you people with Libra rising will end up being of service to the world later in life. I mean, 6th house is a house of service. Pisces is all about service into the greater good. And, there's a strong quality there, like volunteering and stuff. So later in life, I see a lot of Libra risings end up going into a lot of service work in their life. Scorpio, sun, moon, and ascendant. Look at that. It is a beautiful gift, the goddess of love in the house of romance. Scorpios, are you going to fall in love with a deeply spiritual person? Or are your children going to do so well that you feel eternally grateful and you bow before God and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I devote myself to your eternal benevolence, because it's also your children. But a lot of Scorpio risings will have a spark of love, romantic love, a big one, a spiritual one. Now, children here, if you're single and you don't have children, you can meet somebody or have a child conceived right now. So if you're just dating, be careful. I find that this is like invisible Venus in the heart of the sun, in the house of where she loves to be anyway. The 5th house is one of her natural rulerships. And it could mean that you could begin to talk about having children with somebody you're with, or that you could be conceiving. And nothing will happen yet, invisible, the idea of children, but wait for April. Now it's muse. Do you hear the muse? The muse of inspiration, the muse of creativity. This is where the muse lives. And Venus in the heart of the sun can spark the muse, an outpicture of the muse in late April onward, especially with Neptune there, higher universal art, transcendent art, art that reaches beyond the ordinary. All right. Sagittarius, sun and moon and ascendant. The energy of this magical, crazy ass, wildly good Venus energy, exalted in Pisces, is in the house of real estate. Are you thinking of selling or buying real estate? Do you want to let go of real estate that you own, or do you want to purchase something new? This is the house of the mother. Is your mother now a saint in your eyes? I don't know. This is a 4th house. This is the root of the chart. Do you need to be near water? Do you want to have, you're born with it, yearning to be near water in your home, right? You need to be near water. But will you get an exalted opportunity to manifest a home by the sea or some watery place to be? If your home is like grungy and awful, this is like the interior decorator with Buddha statues. Some female could come in and redesign the whole house and make it more spiritual and ashram and beautiful and flowers, like maybe more like incense burning and a gong or something. Will you have an exalted female enter your home and do some kind of exalted, magical, mysterious, spiritual thing, like an event in your home? Even though we have COVID, you never know, that could happen. You could plant the seeds to make your home into an ashram or a spiritual retreat center, but it won't come true until after at least May, when she's visible in the sky. All right. Sorry, I have to advance the chart. Capricorn, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is an operation of Venus's magical inclination in the house of the goddess, the 3rd house, the house of divination and oracles and trips and travel. Some of you might take a short trip of travel to a spiritual but beautiful place. It would be domestic for sure. For some of you Capricorns, third house travel is usually domestic. You might have a breakthrough with a sibling, especially a female. It's a house of siblings where you come to a spiritual communion and reunion and a sort of meeting of minds in some way. You could also find that this is the, if you do marketing and merchandising and social media stuff, that's all down here as well. So you could have a bit of a splashy time where you're exalted in the eye of your social media networks, or you manage to pull off some kind of social media coup where you get a lot of exalted. Think of the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian has her Venus in Pisces. Yeah, if you're creative as a writer and you want to storytell, which is here, storytelling God's been there for a while, and self-expression and writing is the third house. So you could also have an idea that's exalted, like it's an intellectual house, like an idea that you want to express that's exalted Venus. Like, we're going to do a fundraiser in the neighborhood with for women, Venus, with Mother Mary visiting us or whatever, Mother Mira or something like that, a female saint, all the creative ways it can come through. In the meantime, it's a good place for Venus, the house of the goddess, and magic is afoot here for you. So your third house is very juicy in the next 3 weeks. Again, take that trip. It would be whatever that is, or do that magical spell casting there. All right, here I am, the Aquarius risings of the zodiac. For us, it's going to be a time in which our energies in the finance and self-worth and self-possession house. I'm going to do 3 weeks of money magic because I can and because it's fun, and see what happens when the magic goddess herself, the creative energy, the creative intelligence, the creative imagination, the luminous one, is sitting here with the sun in the second house, and she's on her own. Jupiter has no restraint over her. She can do her own thing without impediment. So I'd say for a lot of Aquarius risings, if you're not applying magical things to prosperity and resources, then they're going to happen anyway. So some exalted money breakthrough. What's an exalted money breakthrough? Well, winning the lottery, because she's actually talking to the fifth house in a square, and the eighth house as well. Money, 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 honey. And the 11th house, a good spirit / pennies from heaven. Like, there's a square to all the money things right now for her. So yeah, sure, why not buy a lottery ticket? But also just feeling like your own voice, your own calling, your vocation, your calling and your voice are all parts of the second house too. It can be that you stumble into this exalted sense of calling right now, and your true voice being available for you to speak to the world or express to the world. This is a thing you eat and put in your mouth, and things that come out of your mouth, your voice, and the things you put in your mouth. So a refinement of your food style, a refinement of, like, I'm doing a vegan thing for the next 3 weeks. And I've been thinking about, do I really want to be a vegan? Probably not. A vegetarian is about as far as I can get. But as a paleo girl, this is a huge switch, and I'm feeling the call. So I'm going to be refining my food. So a spiritual refinement through food. All right. I'm reaching for a higher level of refining the vehicle with the prana of plants as foods. All right. Neptune's here. Watch out for addictions, right? But Venus is rarefying the air, and this could be a great time to let go of any addictions. Last, Pisces, this is happening in your body, in your personality, in you. You are magic. You are magical. You are deeply spiritual. You are a saint right now. Watch out that you're not also the sinner, the debaucherous side of it or the addictive side of it. But divine intoxication is coming to your identity house. And for some of you Pisces, this could be also just a time of feeling exquisitely beautiful and seductive, but also with the air of the spiritual or the air of the transcendent and lofty and more refined beauty that Pisces can present. Changing your hairstyle, your wardrobe, wearing white, being more refined, getting a hairstyle that's more, I don't know, spiritual hairstyle is. This is purple hair is my Aquarian hairstyle when Venus was in Aquarius, but you know what I mean. And also female friendships could really impact your identity right now, or females in your life could really have a strong, positive spiritual influence on you right now, because, she could outpicture as a character informing your identity. In some ways, all Pisces risings are spiritually impulsed, right? Your identity is transcendent, it's dreamy, it's mystical, it's a poet of the zodiac. You're yearning for divine intoxication and surrender to some greater being or force of the universe. With Venus there in the heart of the sun, this impulse may be very strongly active over the next 3 weeks. And as I said, they could be instigated by Venusian themes, rapture of the aesthetics of some piece of art, sending you into a spiritual awakening, a moment in which the very simple pleasure of life suddenly strikes you as the most sublime aspect of the divine. So I would be asking you to tune into that. Now, Venus is a diva in all forms, and so you might get a bit of a sense of your identity being uplifted to more of a, not an entitled, but more of a stature of feeling like, you are worthy of attention, but you are coming from a very refined place with that ascendant, and then you add Venus there as well. Now, don't forget April's where you'll see the outpicturing of this. So if your Venus magic on the identity house is to reform your identity into a new direction of some kind, that's more deeply spiritually aligned, then you'll probably see the full fruits of it after she goes out of the heart of the sun at the end of April onward. All righty, and coming into her birth as the morning star. All right, hopefully that was useful. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, share, check the description box below. You know the drill. I'll keep you guys posted. Sign up for my newsletter if you don't, because I tell you, my newsletter, people get stuff I don't talk about here often in my weekly report, and also sales and special prices on stuff that I offer that no one else gets. So if you're on my weekly newsletter and I'm launching this course, the Venus Magic thing I want to do, like a 2-hour webinar, then you can be informed of it and also have the discount code for it. All right, so you get the idea? Okay, bye guys. Wait, hang on. I'm like sort of sideways to my camera for some reason. All right, bye.